Hey guys, what's going on? It is Dunbar Snackbar here with MLB 12, the show. We're going to be doing 30 wins with 30 teams here. I will be playing as the Tampa Bay Rays. We'll be going up against the Baltimore Orioles because I want to keep that tradition going of playing another team in my division. But this is pretty exciting. I'm going to get a chance to play at home at Tropicana Field. So I'll get the roof above me here. It's kind of nice being able to play in an indoor setting every once in a while. Of course, I do enjoy watching a baseball game outdoors, with the sun in your face and the wind and stuff like that. But it is cool to be able to watch a game indoors as well. So it's kind of nice to be able to get that little balance in here. Anyway, David Price on the mound for me gives up a hit very early on in this game that rolls into center field, and that's not what I want to see at this point. I mean, with Price, I'm expecting to get a lot of strikeouts and being able to hold the Orioles, but I know if I underestimate them, I am going to be in trouble. The Orioles are a good team, and I know we can see some big hits out of them if I am not careful. But anyways, Nick McChickens is up at the plate. This gives me a chance to talk a little bit about the history of the Rays. Now, in the last video that I did of 30 wins with 30 teams where I was playing as the Colorado Rockies, I mentioned that I remembered being able to see their first game. And I also talked about how they really haven't been around that long when you take a look at the history of baseball in general. Now, with the Rays, I can say the exact same thing as well. Rays actually came into existence in 1998. That was a big season, too, because I remember that not only was it the Tampa Bay Rays at that time who were just getting started up, but so were the Arizona Diamondbacks. Now, the Rays were known as the Tampa Bay Devil Rays at the time. They, of course, have gone ahead and changed their name since then, which is something I will discuss. But kind of makes me feel old a little bit as I'm sitting here saying, oh, I remember when MLB expanded twice. But no, it's something I always get excited about when MLB chooses to expand. And, of course, I don't anticipate anything in the next little bit. Nothing like we saw, during that time frame. But anyway, this is going to be the last pitch, a slider that goes outside. McChickens is going to be swinging for strike 3. And that is exactly what I needed at this point to kind of get out of things. So still got the runner on first, 2 outs, and we're going to be looking at another hit. This one rolls into right field, just gets past the infield. So not what I want to see right there either, but we get out of that one. So we're in good shape. Bottom of the second now. I have not been able to get a hit quite yet. And there we go. That one goes right down the line. Of course, I was very early on that one, but hey, it works out. Ends up being a single. Not going to go for extra bases at that point, but hey, at least I get my hit out of the way here. Don't have to wait like 3 or 4 innings like it feels like I've been doing in 2K. So got some great pitches to be able to choose from. Gonna try a little curveball right here, but that one also goes into right field. And we have yet another single. So more hits than I was expecting at this point. Not just necessarily how early we've been seeing these hits, but the frequency of them is kind of causing a little bit of concern for me here in this one. So I just hope Price can hold out. Hopefully I'll be able to get my bats going. 0-2 count, 2 outs right now. The Orioles able to get another hit as, once again, my infield is not going to be able to get to that. And I don't know if I should be diving at that point or anything like that because I'm still very new to the show. So little strategy things like that I've got to figure out. All right. So we're going to go ahead and have another opportunity here really quick to be able to talk about the history of the Rays. So for the Rays early on in their existence, things really didn't go too great. I mean, you're talking 9 out of the first 10 seasons, they ended up with the worst record in the American League. Now, we know that the Rays have changed a lot since then. So initially they had a lot of struggles, and that tends to be the case with a lot of teams that are brand new to Major League Baseball. Now, the Tampa Bay area is considered a small, Tampa Bay is considered a small market team because of the area that they are in. So very early on, they didn't have a big payroll. They still don't have a big payroll, but that initial adversity that they had really did a lot of good for them in the end. Or I should say the way that they managed that initial adversity was very, very good because they went ahead and they let some people go who they thought they were holding them back. Got a lot of managers, get that figured out. Like right now, we've got Joe Madden for the Rays, who is, I would say, one of the best managers you're going to find in all of Major League Baseball. And it's kind of turned from the Rays kind of being, the worst team in the American League to being the ideal small market team. Playing in the American League East is not easy, but they tend to be up there over the last few seasons, which has been good to see that switch. So another strikeout, swinging once again, bottom of the third. Things are still going. This hit also going to be going down the left field line. Man, I got to get my timing down a little bit better. I'm just sitting here going ridiculously early. I go with the timing hitting too, so I kind of pay a pretty big price if I don't get it right on time. But as long as we're getting these hits, I don't care how it comes as long as we get them. But kind of nice to be able to see, though, that some good is coming out of this, but still not able to reach home. So we're in the bottom of the fourth here, and that is going to be a hit on a full count, too. So kind of used up a lot of pitches right there for David Price. So I might have to start worrying about stamina if the Orioles keep this up for a good part of the game. So with Price, you can see I've got a fastball, a curveball, a changeup, and a slider. So I can throw some pretty nasty stuff if I have to, at some of these batters here. Depending on what's going on, I'm, of course, going to go ahead and do that. I'll be throwing a lot of balls pretty low here as well, just so I can increase the chance of him going ahead and topping the ball. We'll see a ground ball here, but that one goes inside for ball one. So in the top of the fifth, still scoreless at this point. And this is kind of depressing for me. I mean, I need to be getting some runs on the board here. I need to be getting some hits besides just a couple that I've had thus far. So really, it's just been 2 hits. That's it. Trying not to play on easy or anything like that here with the show. I figure I'm going to struggle at the beginning, but the more that I play it, the better I'm going to get. So once I get MLB 13 the show, hopefully I will be a lot better than I am right now. Watches that curveball. Man, that's one you got to go back to the dugout just being like, I should have swung at that one. But, hey, when we get the strikeout, we're in good shape. All right, top of the 6th now. I am still not able to bring anybody home. Another hit for the Orioles. So they've been out hitting me at this point, which that's very rare for me to be able to say that I'm being out hit by the computer. But the thing is all I really need is 1 hit. I've been very impressed, actually, with Price, given the amount of hits that we've been seeing, that we've been able to keep it scoreless. So at the times that it matters most, we've been able to go ahead and get things done, like right here, getting a double play. And that is going to go ahead and make it so we've got 1 more out, and we'll be able to get out of that one pretty quickly. So kind of nice to be able to see the defense is helping Price out right now, even though he has had a few struggles. Defense and the whole team is there to be able to support him. So we just got to get that run. We can keep this going. I'm, of course, going to be going to the bullpen. You guys know that, when I'm playing 30 wins with 30 teams, I like to showcase different players. But that's going to be a good hit. Just goes over the third baseman's head. And we're looking at another single. So it's all been in left field right now for the hits that I've been able to have. So I got to be waiting on things just a little bit longer, and I think I'll go ahead and be in better shape. So no outs here. There's going to be another hit that also, surprise, goes into left field, but I barely make it right there into second. So I got runners on first and second. Now we've got some things going. I feel like I've got some momentum now. And with the amounts that I have, which is 1, I can bring him home. That is a good hit. I'm making the left fielder work pretty hard. That's going to bring 1 runner home. So I do have the lead at this point with runners on first and second. So another good hit at this point could go ahead and bring him home. That was Upton, I think, on the RBI. So, hey, getting things done. All right, so still 1 out. But that one is going to be a double play as he goes ahead, steps on second, throws over to first. So bottom of the 7th, 2 outs, 2 strikes. That one gonna roll into right field. Hey, there we go. I'm gonna get better with the hitting, I think. I mean, even for this part of the game, I've gone ahead and improved over what I've had before. So I'm gonna bring in Fernando Rodney at this point. just kind of go ahead and relieve Price because he was getting very tired. I mean, the amount of pitches that I had to throw were a lot higher than I would normally expect a starting pitcher to have to, kind of go through. I think I had like 25 pitches in just the first inning alone. It was insane how many foul balls that we saw. But hopefully Rodney can stop the Orioles here from getting anything going in the 8th inning, potentially the 9th inning, depending how things end up playing out. So, as I mentioned, though, going back to the history of the Rays, the first 10 years were kind of a little bit of a struggle. But in 2008, that's when a lot of people figure that things started to change for the Rays, because they go ahead and they change their name from the Devil Rays to the Rays, and they had actually a lot of different team names that they were actually going to be trying to go for in 2008. I mean, there were like the Aces, the Bandits, the Cannons, the Dukes, and the Stripes. And then there was one that was just the 9, so the Tampa Bay 9, which I actually kind of like that. That's kind of cool. But anyway, they decided to go ahead and just stay as the Rays. They go ahead and change their colors too, because initially their colors were like purple and all these like rainbow colors, and then they changed it to the blue that you guys see right now. But anyway, another hit for the Orioles. I'm starting to freak out a little bit here, guys. This is 30 wins with 30 teams. I've only got 1 run. It's not often that we see that you can shut out a team like the Orioles for this long. So just kind of taking a look over it at first. Kind of keeping him honest. Staying over there. He's going to head over for second. And I get him out. So caught him stealing. That is good. Bottom of the 8th now. I go ahead and call that one right. And there we go. That's a good hit. That's what I'm used to seeing. Into the gap right there. That's going to end up being a double. Maybe I'll be able to go ahead and bring him home after this one. It'd be nice to have 2-0 at this point. But we'll see what ends up happening here. Because with the offensive struggles that I've had, the likelihood of me being able to bring him home, really not that great. So, anyway, it's nice to be able to see those hits. I love hits into the gap like that. So, top of the 9th right now. If I can go ahead and stop them right here, I'm in good shape. That one, what a great throw that was. That's crazy. I never, ever, ever made a throw like that when I was playing baseball. But then again, I never played shortstop, so I never had the opportunity to go ahead and do that. So Kyle Farnsworth is going to be coming in here for the 9th inning to try and close things out. So we'll see if he can get the save right here. That'll be kind of nice if we can do that. I know it's kind of risky going with some different pitchers at this point, but hey, that's just all part of the game. So yeah, after 2008, going back to the Rays, a lot of stuff changed. I talked about, the team name changing, their uniform, stuff like that. Honestly, the reason why I'm wearing the dark blue ones is those end up being my favorite. But we've seen a lot of great things out of the Rays, just showing what the ideal small market team is. Getting to the playoffs, just absolutely phenomenal what happened, in the 2011 season and other seasons before that. It was actually really, really cool. But Rays definitely changing things around. I have a lot of respect for the Rays because as somebody who roots for the Oakland A's, I know how tough it is to be a small market team, but the Rays get it done. And they've been doing a phenomenal job over the last few years of just being a great team and very, very dominant in Major League Baseball. So swing and a miss right there on that fastball high and inside, so Farnsworth does get the save. We, of course, do get the win by a score of 1-0. So not the prettiest game of baseball that I've ever played offensively, but hey, all that matters is the win and loss column at the end of everything. So the fact that I get the win, I'm okay with that. I appreciate you guys watching 30 Wins with 30 Teams. More, of course, to come later on. I'll probably be doing a huge spurt here of the Detroit Tigers franchise, so I can go ahead and just set that game down a little bit and just focus more on the show. So, again, you guys, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. You guys can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, all that great jazz. Just go ahead and check the description below. But, again, you guys, thank you so much for watching. And, as always, I hope you guys have a good one.